You're watching 12 on Health. When 11-year-old Mikey Czech died from a rare form of brain cancer in September, his family requested that no one wear black to his funeral. They didn't want it to be a day of mourning. They wanted it to celebrate Mikey's life, and that's what they've been doing ever since. They have formed the Mikey Czech Foundation because they will not rest until they help stop this form of brain cancer and keep it from killing other children. We are joined now by Mikey's father, Steve Czech, who started the foundation, and he has been involved in several fundraisers, raising a lot of money. Your goal, what's your goal been?
The goal is primarily to raise about $6 million, and the money that we're going to raise is going to be used to fund a translational research lab here in the New York City area to help develop remedies and also cures for pediatric brain tumors.
Rare. They don't. And do you feel like they don't get enough attention?
They definitely don't. Approximately 3,300 children a year are diagnosed with brain tumors. Approximately 1,100 of those children die within 12 months of being diagnosed. And it varies based on the type of cancer. The type of cancer my son died from was known as diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. And in that particular case, there are approximately 150 cases reported each year in the United States, and it has a 100% death rate.
Oh, boy. We were just looking at home video while you were talking, and why not? Because we want to bring attention, and what a better way than to show what a cutie Mikey was.
Exactly.
This is a lot about celebrating what a wonderful kid he was.
That's
Describe.
Right. That's right. Mikey was wonderful. He was energetic, he was athletic, he was intelligent, he was loving. He was just a wonderful kid. You couldn't ask for a better son. You really couldn't.
Boy. Now, everyone says that as a parent losing a child, that's the worst.
It is. Unfortunately, I've been subjected to a lot of terrible things in my life, and I can tell you, hands down, that was the worst.
So how, from day to day, do you think about that? Or what is getting you past that? Because you're doing so many positive things. How do you manage that?
Basically, people grieve differently, and I think it's the way I've decided to grieve. And the way I've decided to do that is I go visit Mikey every single day. I visit him at his grave every single day. And it does a couple of things. It enables me to have the emotional breakdown I need to get through the rest of the day. And it also reminds me why we're doing this.
So apart from that moment each morning, you try to get it positive?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, just by DNA makeup, if you will, we're always half, my wife and I and my family, we're half, the glass is always half full. And having to deal with something like this really challenges that. It makes it tough. So that notwithstanding, we have a wonderful family. We have an incredibly deep and broad network of friends. The town of New Canaan, as you know, has been extraordinarily supportive.
And his classmates.
And his classmates.
Which is adorable.
Exactly.
They have not forgotten him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I want to talk more about the foundation, but I just wanted to ask you, did Mikey know what was going on?
Throughout the process, yes. From day one, we were very open with him with respect to what it was he had. We certainly didn't share with him the prognosis, but what we did was we told him he had a brain tumor. We told him that we were going to do everything humanly possible to help him get better, and left it at that. And we did. We left no stone unturned. Yeah.
We have more video. We want to show it, and we want you to walk us through it. What we see.
Absolutely. This is Mikey when we were living in Los Angeles. He was, I think at that point, he was probably 2 years old, and that's Mikey going up the stairs in our foyer.
Oh boy, and he looks like he was quite the entertainer.
Absolutely.
He kept you guys busy.
Absolutely.
And his smile, unbelievable. There was light coming from there.
Absolutely. He had that wonderful smile, and he had those dimples where you could put little nickels in there just to fill the gaps. He was extraordinary.
Where does the research stand right now?
Really, we're in a situation right now where the remedies and the treatments being used to attack this particular type of cancer are 30 years old, and as a result of that, nothing works. And so
just chemo, or
it's conventional chemotherapy. It's a form of there's medicines like methotrexate gadolinium, which is what Mikey was treated with, which was completely ineffective. That is also used in conjunction with radiation. There's conventional radiation, and there's what's known as IMRT radiation, which is a form of radiation that causes less collateral damage to the various
More targeted.
organs. More targeted, exactly.
And is surgery an option with this kind of cancer?
Unfortunately, no. Because of where this is located, DIPGs are located in what's the area of the brain called the pons, which is in the midbrain, and it's in the brain stem. So if you think of the brain stem as a conduit through which millions of nerves run, this form of tumor grows not only within the brain stem but around the nerve. So you can't access it to biopsy it, and
There's
you can't
too much
remove
important tissue in the
Exactly.
way.
Exactly.
Oh boy. What would you want when this research facility comes to happen? When do you expect that?
Well, we hope to have that up and running within the next 6 to 12 months. We're in the process right now raising the funds and recruiting the staff.
So you'll be recruiting
Right.
from where?
Right. Globally, we've got the 2 top neuro-oncologists in the world that we believe, well, first of all, they're on our board of advisors with respect to the foundation, and we'd like to get them to the institution that we're talking with at this point.
Will there be a lab there?
Yes, the goal is to have a lab and to have an entire kind of soup to nuts, if you will. You have the primary research, the translational research, and then the clinical research.
Will you, this is an odd question, but
No
will
such thing.
Mikey's body be used for research?
We donated Mikey's brain and his tumor to NYU, to the tumor bank at
Okay.
NYU. And unfortunately, because of this disease, it's an odd situation. Because so few children are afflicted with it, they don't have a lot of tumors to be able to study it. And you need more tumors to be able to find cures. So it's an odd situation to begin with. And then furthermore, this being something that afflicts children, typically ages 3 to 18, getting a parent to consent to donating that brain or the tumor, it's a very difficult, very, very difficult process.
Especially given how quickly they decline.
Exactly.
It's almost like a parent doesn't have a chance to even digest what has the diagnosis, then the child
Exactly.
dies, and then
then it's over. And it's we were fortunate in a sense, and it's a relative term, but we were fortunate in the sense that he died instantaneously. He died from complications associated with the tumor. Typically, the way these children die is because of where the tumor is located, it shuts down the central nervous system. So they start losing the ability to use their limbs, then they lose their bowels, their eyesight,
boy,
their
it's
hearing,
just devastating.
their ability to swallow, and then they ultimately die. Awful.
well, I have a feeling you're going to change that.
Absolutely.
You guys are on a roll.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Steve
Thank
Czech,
you.
the Mikey Czech Foundation.